Thank the member for Kooyong. Are there any statements? I'll call the minister.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. I also rise to pay tribute to His Holiness Pope Benedict XVI. To say that Pope Benedict took the world by surprise would be an understatement. Surely it was a huge shock to everybody around the world. But what has become clear is that this was a very brave decision by the Pope, a decision which he clearly had been grappling with and which put his church and his faith first. His Holiness has been dealing with the modernity and modernisation of what is almost by definition an inherently conservative organisation. And by the manner of his departure, he has taken perhaps the most spectacular and clear modernising action of them all, and clearly he will be well remembered for it. You don't need to be a Catholic to respect and admire the Pope, or to respect and admire the humility and courage of his decision. I know that the parishioners of the Catholic churches in my electorate of McMahon would be pleased if on their behalf I pay my respects to His Holiness on his retirement in the House of Representatives. Our Lady Queen of Peace at Greystanes, Holy Spirit, St Clair, Our Lady of the Rosary, Fairfield, Mary Immaculate, Bosley Park, and Our Lady of Victories, Horsley Park. All very important parishes I know in the Catholic community, shared between the Archdiocese of Sydney and the Diocese of Parramatta, and very, very important and valued parts of our McMahon community. And I know the member for Fowler, my neighbour, has similar views about the importance of the Catholic Church and the Catholic community in his electorate, and it's appropriate that we do pay our respects. Of course, this Pope will be warmly remembered in Australia for his visit and for the canonisation of Mary MacKillop, our first, of course, saint, particularly in my electorate again, an event celebrated at Mary MacKillop College in Wakeley, a college that my honourable friend and I share. The school fence is the boundary between our two electorates, so it doesn't get much more shared than that, and certainly a very important part of our southwestern Sydney community. I think that Australians will appreciate the respect and honesty of Pope Benedict's motives in resigning. As I said before, he's put the interests of his church ahead of his own. It's a big decision, and that he had the honesty to say that he could no longer lead, as he believes he should, the most important office that he holds, and that he's part of something bigger, something more important. And I think that was a very moving thing for him to do, and a very moving announcement indeed. And of course, our thoughts go to the Catholic Church as they deal with the matter of succession and the election of a new shepherd for the Church. In addition, Deputy Speaker, I'd like to put on record my respect and admiration for Pope Benedict's keen interest in pursuing peaceful and genuine dialogue between the great Abrahamic faiths, the people of the book, Christianity, Islam and Judaism, something that he has really taken a keen interest in and tried to progress. Also, too, I would like to record that his particular concern, and one that I have expressed in the House and the member for Fowler has expressed in the House on many occasions, the safety and well-being of Christian minorities of the Middle East, particularly in Iraq, Egypt and Syria. Not exclusively, of course, Catholic, some heavy Catholic representation in Iraq through the Chaldean branch of the Catholic Church, but also, of course, Orthodox, Coptic Orthodox and Orthodox churches of the East in the Middle East, and His Holiness did make representation of those very significant concerns a priority of his time in office. And of course, he led the Church into the digital age of Twitter. He registered for Twitter, and I think immediately within seconds had more followers than most people in the House could ever dream to accumulate, as hard as we all try. And I think that says a lot, of course, about his leadership and about as I said, he's dealing with the shepherding through and dealing with the issues of modernity in a respected and conservative organisation. And of course he has been vocal on the issue of climate change and introducing initiatives to make Vatican City State carbon neutral, and of course vocal on the Church's role in ensuring a sustainable environment. This Pope has very clearly been a well-respected theologian and a deep thinker, as well as the leader of his church. He came to office with that reputation. And now we can all look back and see the telltale signs. He was asked about what his view would be of a Pope who no longer felt that he had the energy or the health to continue. And he said, well, the Pope could and indeed should hand over office. So it was a hypothetical question at that point, but it showed that he had brought great thought and consideration to the questions of his responsibility, whether his responsibility is to keep going as long as he possibly could, or whether his responsibility was to take the action that he felt necessary to ensure that the papacy was occupied by one with the energy, with the health and with the ability to take the ministry of the Catholic Church around the world and to provide the leadership that Catholics around the world, 1 billion Catholics around the world, so appreciate and treasure. So I join, I'm sure, with every single member of the House of all faiths and persuasions in wishing all the very best to Cardinal Ratzinger, His Holiness the Pope, and paying respect for his time as leader of the institution of the Catholic Church.